Hi, this is Becky Owings. I'm doing my podcast and I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. And what I'm going to do is show you some pretty pictures while I talk about podcasting. What did I learn from Module 5? I learned some terms. Active sync, that's when Microsoft program syncs with Windows-based devices and computers. Didn't know that term. Beaming. I, of course, know what infrared technology is, but I didn't know it was called beaming. That's where you send information through an infrared port between PDAs to printers. Also, medical devices have this capability to do this. I'm seeing a lot of this on the unit I'm teaching on, which is the acute coronary care unit. Also, insulin pumps have that capability as well. Compact flash, didn't know that term. And that applies to memory chips, for example, in digital cameras, which of course I have a digital camera. I know what freeware is, but I'm going to do a little advertisement for Malwarebytes and Spybot. That's free security software, and it's pretty good stuff. So if you don't have that on your laptop or your desktop, you might want to look into it. Now I'm going to go straight to talking about what distinguishes podcasting from video or audio files that come from websites such as YouTube, for example. There are two characteristics. The first is that a podcast exists on a website usually that updates the content on a regular basis. Plus, they also add new content on a regular basis. Also, another feature that identifies podcasting from videos that you could get off of YouTube is that you subscribe to a service that can send you the podcast, and you've always got that podcast there available until you get ready to listen to it. Okay, other things that I thought were interesting in Module 5. There was an article that talked about formative evaluation of projects at Duke University. There were several students in a dental school who wanted to be able to listen to lectures or have videos available to them to help them with all the information they need to learn. And so instead of just jumping in and creating videos, they wisely decided to use instructional design and formative evaluation to figure out what really needed to happen. And through that, they discovered that iPod was the best format to use for placing their lectures into a portable format. Other interesting issues, globalization 3.0, I thought was interesting. I wasn't aware of that. I know that Thomas Friedman is a well-known journalist, and he wrote about the 10 forces that are flattening the world today. And podcasts are part of number 9 and number 10. Number 9 is called informing, and number 10 is being on steroids. Informing is the ability to build and deploy your own personal supply chain of information. It involves self-collaboration. It's basically self-directed researcher, editor, and selector is what you become. Being on steroids, this Thomas Friedman's talking about the digital formats, mobile phones, and virtual worlds, and podcasting, these type of formats that maximize the uses of technology or go to the limits of technology. One other issue that I want to mention that I did not think about until now was how electronic formats and internet and e-learning, for that matter, can increase the gap between your haves and have-not. For example, in rural America, there are several places that still do not have broadband, these people do not have computers, they can't afford them. And then you've got kids in more urban areas, or better income areas that have higher incomes, that have access to immediate information, and they can stay current and get access to all this library information that's online versus those kids out in the rural area who don't have this access. One more thing I would like to add is how do we use the iPods and podcast and education? Well, it can be used in a lot of different ways, in recording lecture material and recording instructions to introduce students to the college environment, such as introducing them to e-learning platforms, and MyBama is a good example. It can be used in the library setting for books. There's just a wide range of applications you can use this for. But those were some things that the Module 5 made me think about. And I'm going to end my podcast before it gets too much longer. I hope you have a good night, and I hope this doesn't bore you to tears. Thank you.